it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. It's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
this is ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
Oh man. Welcome everybody to another episode of Head to Head with Brian Parker. I am he. As discombobulated as I may seem, you have no idea. Oh my goodness. I almost even forgot to plug up my microphone. I'm just steady watching the timer go down. I'm like, I'm missing something. I ain't even have my headphones on. So. Anyway, just one of them Thursdays, I guess, but we are live and direct. Thanks everybody for tuning in for another episode. We are streaming live and direct on Facebook Live, Amazon Fire TV, Roku TV, as well as LinkedIn, Facebook Live, as well as X, formerly known as Twitter, and YouTube TV. So we thank everybody for tuning in wherever you are. If you are on YouTube, we thank you for that. We have definitely seen our subscribers go up by 50% in the month of March. So we really appreciate that, y'all. We are currently doing a drive on YouTube to add more subscribers. So if you are subscribed, please share the page on YouTube and try to get other people to sign up as well. If you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe as well. As we continue our drive to 10,000 followers, that's an aggressive number, but you got to have high numbers and expectations to go after the goals. And we truly believe by doing that, it will give us the opportunity to be able to expand our platform out to more and more people and grow the channel organically as well. If you, well, first, let me bring in my panel. First, we have Lori Parker. How you doing, Lori?
Doing great.
All right. And also we have Mr. TNP TBS, CJ Jones, the host of Elephant Exposed. Also DJ C Nice, he's updated his thing. CJ has his own platform as well, Elephant Exposed, where peels back a lot of the layers surrounding our criminal justice system and those types of things. So make it a point too to go to his platform on YouTube and like, share, and subscribe his page as well. He's also a local area DJ in the Charlotte area. So if you do have any kind of event where you need a little bit of entertainment, please reach out to DJ C Nice. If you need his contact information, you can definitely send us a direct message, and we will get you in contact with CJ. How you doing, sir?
What up, dog?
Okay. You got the South Central thing going on today. I got you.
No, man, I'm good, man. Thank y'all for having me once again. Love to be here.
Definitely on a week by week basis. So so far so good. We'll see how it goes. We'll evaluate into the show. We'll
just feeling myself. Just feeling. Just trying to feel the atmosphere. Trying to see if I can vibe with y'all today. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right, well, vibe on. And we will see if our fourth leg, the franchise, will show up. I know it's probably been a rough week. Happy Eid to all of those that celebrate Ramadan. Ramadan ended Tuesday, I believe, and the feast started on Wednesday, I believe. So congratulations, you made it. I know your tongue was dry for a long, long time, but you made it to the finish line. So you got 11 months and 28 days before 11 months and less than 28 days before you have to do that all over again. So yeah, better people than me. Anywho's, man, we got a lot of stuff going on out there in the world, but I just first and foremost wanted to give a shout out You know, I talk about the dude, um, and he gets himself ready to come in. Probably because I said Happy Eid and all of that, and I started talking about the feast. But let's just go ahead, Lori, bring him on. Let's bring on the one and the only. There he is, the franchise, and
What
also,
up? What
and
up,
also the
dude?
broker in charge of the Jermaine Parker Realty LLC, none other than Mr. Jermaine Parker. How you doing?
Doing good, family. Sorry about being late, but that seems to be my MO nowadays. So,
Oh, I think you.
collaborate with it.
I think you just like to be fashionably late so that you almost get your own block of introduction away from the rest of us peasants.
I'll speak on it more. I'll speak on it more on the what I don't like. But
Okay.
why I'm late today. I can't speak for every days, but today.
Okay. I can't wait to hear that one. We'll definitely give you some time for that one. But I wanted to start out by saying congratulations to South Carolina Gamecocks for winning the NCAA championship on Sunday. That would have been the Lady Gamecocks with their 87-75 win over Iowa. I'd like to say, Raven Johnson, you really did a nice shutdown job on Miss Caitlin Clark, since everybody thinks that she's the GOAT. But that's a whole nother story. That should be in what burns me about Caitlin Clark getting too much shine when you got other people out there that's won chips and done a little bit more for women. But she's doing her thing. Go ahead, Jermaine.
No, I don't think it's too much shine. I mean, she is. If you talk about current women's NCAA basketball, she's the all-time points leader.
Is she
She's
the
been
GOAT though?
that's not what I'm saying. I didn't say that. Because again, just like in men's basketball, a lot of stuff is measured by championships, and notably, she's without. But that kind of puts her into the same kind of category of like a Barkley,
Patrick Ewing,
Patrick Ewing,
Karl
you know,
Malone,
Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller.
You
Oh,
know,
I get it.
So I mean, I think she deserves the attention that she gets. Hence the reason that they had to focus so much on her. I mean, let's be honest. It's not like that they just let her run around and do what she wanted to do.
No, it's not that. But what really ticked me off is somebody was showing us once South Carolina won, the first thing CNN did was
Yeah,
post the ad talking about how South Carolina won, but it was a picture of Iowa.
yeah. Which they walked back after they got complaints and stuff.
They shouldn't have walked it back because they shouldn't have done it.
Well,
I mean, common sense is if Tiger Woods wins the Masters this weekend and you got a picture of Jordan Spieth on the headline, that's gonna look crazy. You know,
Things to make you go.
If Dale Earnhardt Jr., I mean, if Bubba Watson wins the NASCAR race, but you got Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the byline, that's gonna look kind of crazy.
first of all, well, two things. One, not so much in America, and two, if Bubba Watson was to win, the headline would read, "He drove it like he stole it."
And he probably did. No, I was kidding. I'm
Damn!
Oh, we getting started early, huh?
Yeah, we're going early.
So
We're going early.
All of my comparisons have a commonality with it, so I'll let y'all put that together. I just feel like at least give people their moment, give them a beat. Yes, do I think she's a great player? Yes, I think she has to take up put up a lot of shots to get the amount of points that she gets. But without that being said, but she is a scorer. I will give it that. She is a scorer. I don't want to take anything away from her, and I do understand that people contextualize what they perceive as a GOAT depending on what era they come up in. It's just it ain't no different than me talking about Michael Jordan being the GOAT, and then a bunch of young bucks coming behind me talking about LeBron. Even my friend Tamika putting up stats of LeBron and Kobe today. So me and her kind of went a little back and forth, just a smidget on that because she's talking about Bron being the GOAT over Kobe.
I say Bill Russell's the GOAT, but again,
But you old as hell.
championships matter. That's what I was told.
Well,
until they said it was fair.
Well, let's see. Okay, Jermaine, I ain't gonna go too deep down this rabbit hole, but the one thing that I told Meek was, he said, Kobe had 5 rings, LeBron only got 4, but he's still playing. I said, yeah, but you got to think about this one thing. Kobe got all 5 of his rings with the same team. LeBron had to go chasing his building super teams. There's something to be said that you stay on the same team and get a chip, and you just basically going around being a mercenary for hire. Chips.
I will say this real quick, and like I said, not gonna get deep into it. He's not in the Kevin Durant situation where he was going to championship teams looking for those chips.
That's true.
He went and built championship teams with him as the centerpiece of those teams.
That is true.
And you can't tell me that that's an easy thing to do because, again, the aforementioned guys like Barkley, who was supposed to go to Phoenix and win a chip, and all these other guys that that were going to go to Houston and win a chip. Who was it went down there at the end of his career? But there were a lot of people who have gone to other teams looking to build something who didn't win. So is it impressive to have the same personnel that have dominated, or is it impressive to more than not have to come from scratch and build you a championship team? I'll let the viewers decide.
It's
got him. We fucking got him.
Thank you, Lord.
She got the button today.
There you go.
She ain't getting me worth.
Nicely put in. Nicely put.
She ain't getting me worth for that.
My sister is on it.
Your answer depends on: did you bring in Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh to build it, or did you bring in Drew Holiday and Jalen Thomas and some other pieces? Did you bring in those types of pieces and build it, or did you bring in Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade?
First of all, y'all not going to tell me that Chris Bosh is what the linchpin of this conversation is built on.
No.
Dwayne had already won a championship. I'll give you Dwayne or something. But if you look at when he went back to Cleveland, who outside of Kyrie are you going to pull in?
I agree. That one I got to give you because he took even people that were sleeping with his mama and put them on the team. So I get it. Oh, y'all know what I'm talking about? Okay, never mind.
Look,
do that on the after hours show.
That man is drugged out because of that shit. So
I know.
Thank you, Clyde Drexler. Clyde was already in Houston.
Yeah, but I know what you're talking about. When a lot of them went to Houston to try to, but they were at the end of their careers and stuff like that. I mean, that would be like Steph trying to come to the Hornets now because he's a local boy and everything.
If we were talking about normal NBA careers, that last championship that he won was at the end of his career.
Who?
Bron.
Yeah.
If we're talking about a normal career span.
Yeah. So on that note, before I get to the UConn men's,
yes.
That's true. I'm sure you've seen that his son Bronny has declared himself eligible for the NBA draft.
Yes.
What do y'all think about that? Do you think he's ready to come out?
I mean, if you like half-baked stuff, sure.
We're still a little raw in the middle.
If he was food, yuck.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Because when you bite into that. Now, here's the thing: the funny thing is that his younger brother Bryce is actually probably going to be the better ball player. He's taller.
That's kind of like how the balls were. When they came out, you thought the first one that came out was going to be pretty decent, but then you started seeing LaMelo play, and you're like, oh wow, if he can stay healthy, he's definitely
he's a better brother. Do I think so? He's done a couple things. So he's going to retain his eligibility if he doesn't get drafted, kind of thing, and he'll go back to college. But what really LeBron's desire, which he stated multiple times, to play with his son, is probably what led to that. Is he ready? No. Is he a good ball player? He is a good ball player. Let's not overlook. I mean, now his stats there at USC, and I saw some of his play, It's a difference between when you're in high school and you're 18-year-old playing against 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds and stuff. The
Hey,
same thing that when you get to college and you're 18-year-old and you're playing against 22-year-olds. It's I think one of the things that we had to consider with his college career was that he was set back with his heart condition and stuff. He
yeah.
didn't really get the prep and stuff going back in, and that does. Any athlete can tell you rhythm and training. There's something about being ready for the season and stuff, and he just was not ready, really, in my opinion. And he was forced out there. I'm not quite sure why he would want to leave USC. I thought that was a pretty good situation for him to learn and develop and stuff. But Bron doesn't have 3 more years for Bron to get NBA ready. And I don't care what Bron has said in the past. Bron has said in the past things like that Bronny was better than half the dudes playing in the NBA now, which obviously isn't true. I mean, that's just like saying that everybody thinks they have a beautiful child. And which is a mystery because there's a lot of ugly people in the world. So if everybody's got a beautiful child, then where all these ugly people come from? Are they hacked? Are they baked?
Well, after babyhood, they just started progressively getting uglier.
No, they're ugly.
No, they're just
No,
flat out ugly baby.
I know they came out that way. How many times y'all think a doctor get ready to pull a baby out and go, "Damn"? I'm sorry.
That's why some of them hit the floor because their head come out. They go, "Oh shit!" And you just fumble it.
Almost
they're already slippery.
Yeah.
Get home and raise your kids! Oh my gosh!
Every time you play that clip, I feel like I get a little gayer.
Just a tad bit, about 0.3%.
It might be a little heavier there. It might be a little heavier there.
So you mean if I get ready to say, "Hey Jay, what you about to do at the show?" You gonna say, "To go get some milk and cookies"?
I don't want to raise my kids because I want to do the invitation so bad. I'm like, do I want to do that? So why do I want to do that?
Get some milk and cookies.
Yeah, you know, I don't even do that. I don't even repeat that joke no more. Because I used to be able to do it real good, but I was like, nah, I can't have nobody looking at me doing some. CJ, you a little zesty with that one. I can't. No. I don't like zesty. I don't even like mild sauce, bro.
Oh Lord,
just stay away from the spicy stuff.
Oh my goodness. So I think I agree with you. I think Bronny is wanting to come out, and I think what I'm really afraid of is I think that LeBron may be holding the Lakers hostage and trying to see, because who's going to pick Bronny up other than the Lakers?
I would.
Would you? And would you pick him up like in the second or third round or something like that? Because
I would definitely. He's obviously not a lottery pick and stuff. If I had a late round pick, I would pick him up. And here's why. First round.
Okay.
You know why? Because he's valuable to one guy, and there's one guy that would pay price for him, and I might be able to get something from him like a D'Angelo Russell.
That's true. That would be a decent selling point. Or if you are a team,
he would never play for me. No. But is a bargaining chip with the Lakers if there was somebody
great. That's a great point. That's great.
AR. I like to call Austin Reed AR-15. But if there was why he's not wearing number 15, it's killing me.
That is
AR-15 is right there. He's a shooter. But if I wanted some leverage from a Laker player, I would definitely pick up his son because he wants him there and he's led GM, and so he's going to make a deal for it. Like anybody in that locker room has to understand that one of them is not going to be wearing purple and gold next year. That's Bronny's. They're going to sit on the bench together. He's going to do a farewell tour together. He might play 2 years with Bronny and stuff. And let's put it like this: Giannis's brother, what's his name?
Oh, you got me. I don't know.
It starts with a T.
Yeah, yeah.
That dude cannot play basketball, and the only reason he's on the team is because Giannis is is the MVP. Yeah, he's the MVP, and good work with getting rid of your head coach.
I was about to say that's why I say he's the general manager, because he's the one that basically got the coach fired.
Yeah, for a coach that don't win nothing. But anyway, so but that's the reason his brother. So it's not unprecedented that somebody who can't play at the professional level is on a team because of familial ties. Thank you.
Thanks, Dre. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So I mean, Bron's not doing anything unprecedented in that move, is he? I got my brother playing over here, and he's the poster child for Shaq and a fool.
You know, whether it's politics or anything, nepotism has been around probably as long as prostitution. If you know somebody, you related to somebody, that will definitely get you doors open that otherwise would not be. If you think about any sports, how many head coaches have sons? Doug Collins, and then he had his son that was in the league. Walton played in the league, then his son became a coach. It happens. There's nepotism all the way around. Even in the NFL, how many Shanahans is it? I mean, how many of all these other names is it where you'll sit there and go, okay, Dan Reeves, and then he had his family in the league. All kinds of things with nepotism. So it's all around us, where you know good and well that guy got that job because of who he was related to, not because of a single thing about his performance or his talent and stuff. Or people will say, well, he's got those genes. He's got that. No, you know what? That's the same reason why Michael Jordan's sons never went to the NBA. Marcus and his brother. I mean, they just weren't Mike. It wasn't even that they weren't Mike. They just weren't really good players. They got
college players. I mean, one played down there in Florida.
College teams, yeah, they did. But did it translate into them, being really good draft picks? Or, I don't even know if they went to the G League and stuff like that. But what my point is that did you have to be as good as the next guy? No, because your dad was Michael Jordan. Not that you couldn't play a lick. Of course, some of that should rub off on you. But, just because your dad was Michael Jordan doesn't automatically translate into the fact that you're going to lace up some shoes and dribble a ball and you're going to be the next thing coming. So
I think
opportunity.
I think that's really just positioning. As we use the Michael Jordan, because as you mentioned, anybody who's in the position to reach back and help a family member has. Mike just wasn't in a position. The league was not formed that way at the time. The league was still more heavily on the owners and what they could do. Hey, you can talk about Bron all you want to too, but remember, it's him making the decision and everything that helped open up the floodgates for more player control about their destiny when they played, where they played, stuff like that. Which some people say is bad for the league, but I think that again, it's opened up this opportunity. Thanos, whatever. I can't get it. The Greek Freak's little brother, big brother. Yeah, whatever is. He's only in there again because the Freak could leave and go somewhere, take his make a decision, take his talents elsewhere. So we'll use that roster spot. But
yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. It's just, call it what it is, though. It ain't like, okay, he's here for any other reason.
Well, I don't think that Bron has been. I don't think he's been anything other than transparent about what it was. Now I think at some points, just like again, like a parent, a little bit overestimation. Is he one of the top 200 basketball players? Is Bronny one of the top 200 basketball players in the world? No. He's not. Again, Bryce might be.
Yeah, Bryce is nice.
Bryce is nice.
Is he C nice? I'm sorry. Isn't DJ C nice? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I get it. I get it. I hope he comes in and doesn't try to hold expectations of I'm LeBron James' son. I will remind everybody that the first shot that I ever saw Kobe Bryant take as a 17-year-old in the NBA was an air ball. And I ain't saying he Kobe, but just you come in a certain way doesn't mean that's how you have to end it. Yeah, first shot Kobe took was an air ball. Everybody laughed and said, "Who is this young kid? Get him off the court," and everything else. And I was
I think, and we'll talk about this in terms of the college basketball championships too, but it definitely at the NBA level, it's entertainment. And the problem is that you can't come in. You could walk onto a basketball team and you could actually be busting the number one player's butt in practice every day and still sit the bench because the boosters for college that brought that guy in and paid all that money for him and his family to be there want to see him on the court. And it doesn't matter if you are embarrassing him in practice day in and day out, he's still going to play over you. The same thing with lottery picks. If you're number one pick and you're the last pick in the draft, and you come in there and you bust the number one pick and stuff, he's still going to play more than you.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. He's going to get more opportunities. He's going to get the green light. I'm a Hornets fan. Brandon Miller, I think, is a good player, but I think he's overrated because he takes like 20-something shots a game. So when he's scoring 20 points on 20 shots, he's averaging like a little under 20 points on the 20 shots and stuff. He's not that efficient to me. He just guns a lot.
Same critique I have for Caitlin Clark.
Well, so the only thing I would say about Caitlin is at least Caitlin's able to put up 30, 40 points.
Off of 20, 25 shots.
You need about 20 shots to put up 40 points.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're hitting twos, yeah. Or three, yeah. Or minus three. Yeah.
But I'm saying Brandon Miller's averaging like between 18 and 20 on 20 shots.
Now, that's a 1-for-1 isn't going to get it because that means you're really expecting your team to come up with rebounds, steal, and everything else just to be able to generate possession opportunities. So we can get into that on our head-to-head basketball show to be in the future. But let's also give some props. And I hate to say this because I know my man Andre is watching from Arizona, and he's a graduate of the University of Purdue. He is a Boilermaker through and through. His guys really did a good job, but still came up short in this past game where they did lose to UConn. And there's nothing to feel bad about there because UConn won it last year. So the fact that UConn was able to come back and dip their toes in the water again for a second straight year. I don't think it's been done since Florida did it back in 2008-ish, something like that. But you guys had a great season. You got a big guy is Zach Edey coming to the NBA this year? Is that what we're looking at? The 7'4" center?
He's going to have a solid 10, 12-year career as a backup. He's going to play for about 6 teams. He'll be.
You see him as a journeyman though,
absolutely, yeah. Because if you look at the game, they were able to throw lob passes right past him. He's not quick enough, foot wise, to keep up with pro players. I'm not going to say that he's not tough enough, but I did think he kind of gave up in that game with the tough defense. But I think he will be, and offensively, I don't think he's that polished. But he's a big body. You can't teach people how to be 7 foot. I'm not saying that he doesn't have good footwork. I'm just saying he's just not as quick as like Anthony Davis is going to eat him up. Wemby going to eat him up.
Do you think they would eat him up more because they can actually hold the ball at the top of the key without having to sit there and get post position first? Like they can actually pull him out of that box. Oh, Andre agrees with you, says facts. Do you think that they have a better chance because a guy like a Wemby, a guy like a AD, they can move around without the ball, number one, but they can actually start from the top of the key and actually get you off of the dribble?
The pro game is different. There's levels to it, and I'll dip back into the Caitlin conversation you have. That was one of the comments made by a commentator when they asked about how she going what's her prospects in WNBA, and said what's coming for her, and the comment was reality. Reality is what's coming from her, because it's, and again, like in fact, where I kind of got my comparison, it's easy for her to go out there and score on 18-year-olds. She's going to be talking about women who have played professionally, because and you have to remember, the WNBA doesn't pay a lot of these women play year round with other travel teams and stuff in other countries and stuff. They don't just play American; they play European ball, which is considerably more restrictive for the females and stuff. They're going to come. She's going to have a reality check when she gets there, and that's the only thing. And like I say, this young man, I think, if he had come out in the early 1990s, he could start on a team and stuff. It's just the athleticism of these guys has become so ridiculous. And the NBA, being entertainment, is geared towards the offense. Look how many points they're putting up this year. They've changed all the rules to benefit offensive guys and stuff. And he's just not quick enough as a big man to keep up with these athletic free. Remember, Kevin Durant's a 7-footer.
Yep. Kevin Durant is 7 foot. Wemby is what, 7'5", 7'6"?
Yeah, I mean these guys, this level of athleticism. Yeah, this level of athleticism. That's the reason that, and they talk about, they bemoan the fact that in college you don't really get that type of big man anymore. It's not that they don't exist. Nobody's offered them scholarships because they're not quick enough for even at college levels for that kind of stuff. They do exist. Those big men, they're just getting more play other places and stuff. It's just not built for that anymore.
That is true. And what you find a lot of times is that a lot of teams want to be a lot faster. So the big guy plodding down the court is not an appealing thing. So a lot of times, instead of really having a true center, a lot of times you got 3 forwards out there.
Yeah,
you got 2 guards and 3 forwards, or sometimes you got 3 guards and 2 forwards.
Look, I mean, everything evolves and stuff. Look at Jerry Rice. I think Jerry Rice obviously is a prototype for a wide receiver until the Randy Moss version showed up, and then people were like, "Oh, well, yeah, that's nice that you can run routes and stuff, but how high can you jump and how fast are you?"
Until you had the Tyreek Hill come,
and then like be supreme.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Look, you can run the worst route in the world. If no one can catch up to you, you're just wide open.
Look, if they call you the cheetah, there's a problem. You're wide receiver.
So everything evolves and stuff.
Like, y'all wake me up when y'all get out of sports talk. Look at Lori. Yeah, she has no idea what the hell we're talking about.
Well, like say, if for the UConn, to repeat again, I think I talked about it last week. It's hard to have rivalry and repeat championships simply because the star talent doesn't last more than a year.
Right.
And so that's why it's hard, and that's why this is so amazing, is that they were able to retain their talent and come back for another year and run it back.
And that's why I jumped back to the women's too at South Carolina. For them to have 3 over the last handful of years is amazing, because you're doing it with different lineups. You're doing it with different teams. The players that are on one team aren't the same ones that win the championship the next time.
Yeah, well, women have because again, they tend to make, especially now with the NIL deals and stuff, they tend to make more money in college than they would at the pros anyway. Which is
that's why that does encourage them to stay a little bit longer, because they're in no rush to go make $70,000.
Yeah, there's no rush for them, and women's game because still, even though the WNBA has been out there for years now, legacy as a women's player is in college.
Yep.
The professional accolades and stuff. And I mean, let's be honest, we're probably the last people to keep talking about women's basketball on this show, because people stopped like Tuesday.
I think they stopped Monday morning.
Yeah, well, yeah. And I think, not defending CNN, but I think that's kind of why they were so hype about saying something about Caitlin on the way out, because no one would read about it. That same article, if they did an article like the next day, no one would read about it. because people just aren't that interested. As much as people want to say there's a, they should get equal pay and stuff like that, those are the same people who don't go to their games, who don't support them, and the numbers don't lie. They just don't get the same amount of interest and support, and therefore money as
Well,
men players.
you can't. Well, I don't even believe in that, because to me, pay is relative. If one company is generating $10 million a year and another company is generating $1 million a year, I'm not going to say that the company that has $10 million in revenue and the one that has 1 million should be paying people the same, because you're not on the same level. The people that work at Ruth's Chris probably make more money than the people that work at McDonald's. That's just what it is. Your check receipts are going to be different. So I'm not of that mind. Now, is it more so because it's women versus men? No, that just happens to be what the difference is. But it's not just for that one mere fact. It's really because of the revenue that is being produced. It's like that. So it's not that women are being slighted because they're women. Women being slighted because the game has to evolve to the point where the revenue justifies the pay. It just does. Otherwise, because if you don't, what's going to end up happening is, instead of looking for the lead to continue to grow, it's going to go bankrupt. It's going to go out of business, because it won't be able to maintain. Any business that you have, you need to make sure that it can be self-sufficient. After you pay all your bills, after you do you have your reinvestment, if you're in research and development, you got R&D dollars, whatever the case may be, you still got to make sure that you can be financially solvent. Which is kind of funny, because that takes me to a story about Donald Trump. I just did a segue. So the segue is that Donald Trump had a and now Lori's awake again.
No, before you start going on to your Trump thing and start on your segue, one, I thoroughly identified and knew about the basketball, your conversation, especially with UConn. Plus, number two, I have supported and have been to WNBA games. I used to go to the New York Liberty all the time when I lived in New York.
With Rebecca Lobo?
And always a supporter. As I said, I have many friends who went to UConn. So, as I said, but plus I love the fact that UConn won, and they had that player from East Carolina University who transferred in to UConn, and as a player, they had a great story on him in this way. And he's actually still going to be, because I think he's I don't know what year he is in, but he's on here. So as I said, I think he's a junior, but again, he's going to sit here and to play. So that's what I know about that. So segue on to your Trump conversation, sir.
I mean, I don't have nothing else to say.
Ooh. To the left.
How you gonna try to do a diss track on me on my own damn show? Anyway, you get one diss track. Damn it. Anyway, so speaking about being financially solvent, Trump originally, of course, we know, had about a $454 million judgment, meaning that he had to put up a bond of that to be able to keep the attorney general from being able to start to seize assets and property and things like that. Well, an appellate court decided to trim that all the way down to $175 million, gave him a 10-day extension, and within 7 days, he did get a bonding company to put up the $175 million bond that would effectively stop all seizures. And because the appeal, it wasn't that he wouldn't be able to get an appeal, but if he didn't put up a bond, then the appeal would still be done, but she could still go after his assets in the time being. But being able to put up a bond puts a freeze on that. Only problem is that the bonding agency out of California may not really have enough funds to be able to cover the bond. So there's going to be a hearing on the 22nd of this month to determine if that bonding company just said, yeah, we got it, but they don't really got it. Because looking at the numbers that we've been able to see, they have to have a certain amount of their total on cash liquid assets to be able to cover that bond. Meaning that if you're going to guarantee 175 million, you can't have 200 million in the bank. You got to have normally 10 times more than that. will be able to do that. And what they're finding is that the math ain't mathing. So they're going to have to go to court to prove that this is legit and they can cover that bond. Because another thing that they tried to put in their bond agreement, which the judge is like, no, is they were basically saying, hey, at the end of, if he loses this appeal, then y'all have to go after him for the money, not us, which totally uh, gets rid of the whole idea of it being a real bond. So they already had an issue with that to say, no. If he defaults, it's up to you guys to make the state of New York whole, and then you need to go collect from Trump. But what they're trying to do is be slick with it and say, no, if he defaults, y'all still got to go after him, and he'll be on the hook, not us. And they're like, no. So they got to talk about that on the 22nd. Also, the week of the 22nd, I'm sorry, before I get into that. And what's going to end up happening is with this appeal, is the appeal will be heard over the summer as far as the briefs. The briefing will start to be submitted. When you're going through an appeals process, each side gets, thank you for putting that up, each side gets to submit their individual briefs as to why they think that they should win the case. Those briefs will be fully briefed during the summertime, but the appeals court is actually out during the summer where they're not like literally having court. So they'll come back in September to review those briefs and everything else, and then be able to get a ruling. So we're not going to know anything about whether he wins his appeal or not, most likely until sometime in October, unless they turn back a verdict a lot sooner in September. So that's what's going on with that. So we'll find out in another week and a half if the bond is really the bond. If they let it go through, which they probably will, because they've given this dude every opportunity to get this right. Even the bonding company didn't fill out all the paperwork, and they've given them the opportunity to refill it out. They're not licensed in New York. They're supposed to be licensed in New York. All these kind of things. But they continue to keep letting him get by, which is really just giving him what he wanted to begin with. Just delay. He just wanted to delay the whole damn thing. So we'll see how that goes with that. So that's what's going on with that particular case. You also have him having to go to court on Monday to start jury deliberation, jury selection rather, for the what some people consider a hush money case, which is more of an election interference case, because this was, of course, the case where he used some money to cover for a catch and kill scheme between him and the Inquirer, where they would basically take stories and pay for them to go away. This was all done right after the first time he ran for president, that he won. I'm sorry, that he won, where the Access Hollywood tape had come out where he was bragging about in the van, bragging about grabbing women by the genitals and being able to do it because he's a star. And when you're a star, they let you do it. After that came out, that was such a bad hit that he knew that if reports of the Stormy Daniels thing and the Karen McDougal issues came out, that would most likely sink his campaign. Or he thought it would. I don't think it would have actually. But he thought it would. So he didn't want to take that chance. So obviously he paid off these people to make it go away and use some really funny math and accounting to get it done. And he's being charged because it's misappropriations, it's falsification of documents. And a lot of times people will say, oh, that's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Well, I tell you what, if you don't think it's a big deal, lie on your taxes and see what happens. If you don't think it's a big deal, go sit there and apply for a loan and lie on it, get said loan, and then when they find out what happened, tell me what they do to your ass. If you don't think it's that big of a deal. I think a lot of times people don't think it's that big of a deal because of all the other things that he's got going on around him, and they're like, well, shoot, but it's still a big deal, and it's still fraudulent. All of these things, Jermaine, are just a culmination of one thing and another, where literally your company was found guilty of fraud, even though it didn't somehow attach to him. His company was convicted of fraud. Your CFO had to go to Rikers because of fraud, and now just yesterday he got sentenced to go back to Rikers for perjury, and he's 76 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Look, this is the most loyal white man I ever seen. When they talk about snitches get stitches, he taking that seriously. If I was 76 years old and somebody talking about I'm going to Rikers, I got a pen and paper in my hand. I don't know what's wrong with you. Paying me $2 million ain't gonna do it because they got a whole lot of KY jelly in prison. So I hear.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, that hurt.
They not though. Evidently not.
Well, you gotta understand when people say that it's not that big a deal. It's not, because most of the laws in this country were not written for rich white men and the things that they do, because whatever they do, because that's who wrote the laws. You know what I mean? And so, quite honestly, the police don't police themselves. And so lawmakers don't put laws in place for themselves. And so the fact that he is a billionaire who has committed some, and it is, I mean, really, just golly, every year.
You know, along that line though, Jermaine, not to cut you off, but you're right in a way, only because even when it came to the whole thing with him embellishing a lot with the real estate, a lot of them said that because they do the same damn
Do the
thing.
same things.
And if they sit there and act like it's serious, then that may be getting a little close to what they do themselves and say, well, damn, wait a minute. If they start going after Trump for talking about my 11,000 square foot triplex is 30,000 square feet, then they might start getting on me when I'm starting to fudge some of my numbers.
Well, and so that's the thing, right? Is that, and remember, Trump runs under the we need to be tougher on criminals and stuff. He doesn't mean criminals. He means minorities. That's what they all mean. That's what he is tough on, because he is because quite honestly, he's one of the biggest criminals that have ever lived in the United States, right? And he constantly does stuff. They say that he's been involved in like 5,000 lawsuits.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, like, he's the most litigious person out there. Yep.
And at some point, you got to think to yourself, should we lock this dude up? Like, this dude seems to be like, if you were looking at that history and stuff, and I went to court 5,000 times, like, well, sure, I lost some, but they were racist, and the people just keep picking on me. Why, sir? Why, sir? Why, sir? Why are they doing that stuff? It's because that you are a criminal. That's the reason you keep hopping back up into the criminal case. I mean, really. I mean, look. Why did they? Think about it. Before the Civil War, how many police stations were there?
Right.
There was no need.
They didn't have to back the blue in.
Out in the West, they had sheriffs and sheriff deputies, and they would put posses together,
or marshals.
Marshals and federal marshals and stuff like that. It's not that they didn't have a history of police at all, but as far as needing to patrol the streets and stuff,
I mean, like
that was not.
Stuff?
Yeah,
there were no donut shops back then.
But no. Donald Trump. And now a couple of things to clear up. It doesn't matter if they let him post a bond or not. It doesn't matter who pays it. It kind of does matter who pays it, because it should be him. The thing is that he's not going to win the appeal. He's trying to stall because he believes if he can get back in the White House, he can make all this stuff disappear.
Yes,
and be protected and stuff. And
well, honestly, he can only make the federal cases technically go away. What he's hoping is with the state cases that he can't make go away, that he can just stay in office long enough to just delay them and stuff. Because the one thing that you have to remember is that some of the cases will be waiting for him, because I believe that the statute of limitations would freeze for him being in office. But the problem is that when you're dealing with testimony from witnesses, well, you let 4 or 5 years pass, witnesses' memories start to get a little bit foggier.
Oh shit!
Oh, I see you, CJ. You see me? I see you.
Yeah, I saw y'all, but everybody froze.
Huh. Well, so
All right,
we've
so
been.
let's go ahead and go on with the show then.
Yeah, so me and CJ had been talking
Yeah,
about taking over the show anyway,
yeah.
and I think this is just really a
this
perfect
is
opportunity.
this is a hostile takeover by the veterans.
There you go. Hey, so CJ, tell me
Yes,
what
sir.
you think about this Donald Trump thing.
Man, I think it's just all BS, my brother. I think it's no, seriously, man. All it is, man, is just that this is just the long wind of distracting till I can get away. I mean, it's typical of the rich and powerful, you know, and that's literally just what it is. It's they when you are plugged in like how Trump is, just go out there, you know, keep your base charged up and everything, and just throw a whole bunch of paperwork their way, you know. And the more paperwork you get tied up in court and everything else, then you know it's just like the whole distraction, like with the Fonnie Willis. You know, didn't have nothing to do with him. It was the perfect distraction, and everybody got all out of focus. You know, and
I hear you. I think you make an excellent point that it's somebody who has been litigated so much. The play is the same. It's we'll draw this out because lawyers are expensive, and so even if you're trying to seek justice and you're right, you might not be able to afford justice. And so the long game always works for people with money and stuff, and that's his plan for all this. Is that I will be able to. Now it's hard to do the government that way because we have lawyers on payroll, but we don't have as many. They're usually outgunned by somebody like Trump who would normally have a whole law firm at his disposal and stuff. And I will say that Lori and Brian, they lost power. I'm not sure what they're going to do about that, or as we move forward in the show, exactly how that will. I'm surprised that we're still broadcasting.
yeah, I'm
kind
of tripping on that. I think it's just because they had joined us, and because we haven't lost connection. Maybe that's how the group thing works.
I don't know. We'll press forward. Like, I know we want to talk. We'll press forward. Like the show's going. Like they're going to come back at some point.
So,
go ahead.
But yeah, all right. So, because obviously we pretty much follow the same kind of platforms. I get my political feeds and stuff whenever I watch Michael Popak.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady it's what is it, legal AF, and yes, AF stands for exactly what you're thinking. And they make it informative. They really do. They break things down. They break down legal terms to where even someone like myself, Mr. Law Enforcement head, I can understand it, and to when Brian was talking about the bonding company, did not know that was the same bonding company that took advantage of service men and women when it came to their car loans. Now, I came in 98, and I would hear about that a whole lot. And thank God I steered away from those predatory lenders and everything. Yeah. But I did not know that was the same dude.
Yeah, that came out pretty early.
I was like, what?
The thing is, like my brother was alluding to, is that, so there's Donald Trump's biggest problem with that whole thing is that he's notorious for not paying his bills. And so getting a bonding company to sit there and take that up, it wasn't like he was going, although he says he has the best people around him only to renege on that later on as they turn on him at some point. But I think one of the things I was trying to say before we lost our two panelists is that he's going to lose his case, and it doesn't matter. He's going to have to pay the full amount. So for a lot of people who are sitting there saying that it was reduced, that's still a lot of money to put up just to go try a case. But he's going to have to pay up that full amount, and whether that be assets or what have you and stuff, because even though his Truth Social went public and on paper it doubled his income, we've seen in the last couple of weeks that reality is kind of waiting on him too, and the price of that stock. And so the way that the FCC rules go is that you just can't start a company, and if it goes 12 billion like his did the first day, you go cash all your stuff out, take your money and run. You got to wait 6 months. So he's 6 months away from actualizing in those gains that he got and stuff. And there's a really, really, really good chance in 6 months that stock will be damn near worthless.
I did. I caught a little bit of that. Exactly what you're talking about. The people that started Truth Social, I guess, like on his behalf or whatever the case may be, they're actually right. Yeah, they now they're taking him to court. So I'm like, God, like, how do you do this, bro? Like, how do you bankrupt a casino?
Well,
like, how do you?
So the thing with True Social and him suing those guys is that even though they did start and stuff, he felt like, and maybe his team felt like that they could have made the company public sooner, which would have helped out a lot for a couple different reasons. One, with their financial statements. If it done it months sooner, we wouldn't know exactly how much money they lost.
Right.
At 6 months into the process, he might still, because of his base and because of foreign interests, right? The stock might still carry some weight, and he would be able to actualize those gains.
Okay.
And so he's suing them because they took so long making the company public. Which, you know, I have no facts on that about how long it took or what they could have done differently and stuff. And it just normally the assertion from Trump is always a lie. So if he says, I mean, really, it's just one of those kind of things. If he says that he could have done it sooner, then the idea is probably that he couldn't have.
Probably.
And, we have Luke Kuechly and ADT Home Security checking back in.
I see somebody in the van. Man, we ain't talking about nothing, bro. We ain't talking about nothing.
Freeze.
I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna be or not, but literally, I'm on my 5G in the dark. We have no power in Concord, so I don't know what the hell hit us up here.
That big ass storm that I can still hear outside my window.
Okay, well that big,
it could be that.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all keeping it going though. That's awesome. I love it. I do this for myself, so I'm glad you guys.
And they still got him.
You know what? This is what it get. How dare you persecute innocent President Trump, talking about how much money he ain't got?
That's what it was.
Can you keep the lights on?
You know what?
They said they gonna kill your lights, bro.
I got.
You keep the Donald out your mouth. You keep the Donald out your mouth, sir.
Oh, you talking?
I made my own self laugh. I made my own self laugh on that one.
Oh my!
Don't you talk about the Donald?
Yeah, I know. So listen, y'all. Because I'm not going to be able to do the show, and I want to make sure that we can actually close it out on our end. We're just going to wrap it and then just have another show on next Thursday. Is that cool?
Sounds good.
That's a bet. That's a bet, y'all.
Okay, so let me. Because hold on a second, Lori, camera up. So let me Get rid of that one. That went up. Let me see if I can remove this. All right, y'all. Listen. This is in the head-to-head show. I'm happy to find it and everything, but I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good week.
I can't work under these conditions.
Oh, brother. All right, man. Y'all be good, bro.
You know what I don't like?
What's that?
I don't like ending the show in the middle of the show because the show ended in the middle of the show.
And all of that.
And all of that.
That's what I do. All right, man. I'm out of here, bro. Man, you be good.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in for another week of Head to Head. As my brother said, we're going to have another episode next week. Tune back in. Hopefully they got their power back on, but it doesn't matter because either way, me and CJ are going to bring the electricity next week like we did this week. Until then, peace.
Peace.
I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. I lied. I just wanted to have the whole show to myself. I'm not going nowhere. Y'all can't get rid of me. Anyway, y'all have a good week. Love you.